Viewers, welcome to my channel, Since 360 Investor. Let's do a video on the market update as of this week. So let's take a look. We'll take a look at the market's action in the indexes, key indexes, and we'll also take a broader look at the markets and see what's going on, especially in the light of that this week, as per the IBD system, there was a confirmed uptrend call that was given Wednesday night, which in their system usually means a green light to start wading back into the market, given its recent strength. And if that follows through, usually results in a nice little trend, which to capture some gains. Okay, so this is a different chart, and we're looking at the S&P 500. Yeah, and we're looking at the weekly view. So as we can see, there's a few diagrams in here, but it makes it a little bit messy. But the overall trend you can see is up, and here from the COVID lows, you can definitely see that we're in an up move. From the COVID lows, we hit the highs over here, which is about end of 21, beginning of Jan of 22, and then since then we had a pullback which put in a low in October of 22. So that was the main kind of bearish market. Since then we've been working our way up, and after about July over here, end of July, we've been in a kind of a downward corrective mode. But in the bigger picture, it's all within still an up move. So we can see low, high, higher lows, and we didn't quite get the higher high here, which calls into question whether the strength of this uptrend is resilient and will remain. So what we need to watch out for is this channel that's been formed, and this is a weekly, remember, is to see if we can break back above that channel and then take out this swing high here, or we're at the top of the channel and we start working our way back to one of these many support layers that we have, support zones that we have. So there's a lot to unpack in this picture. So basically, if you take a long-term view, we are from the COVID lows, we are still tracking into an uptrend. There's a yellow flag here, the fact that this high did not take out the high over here, and we shall see how this downtrend resolves itself. So that is the big picture of the S&P 500. Next, we'll go to a daily chart and we'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, so now here we have the daily chart of the S&P 500, and a little bit more granularity. So from past videos where we had the trend change from down to up, I had marked the swing points here. They're still invisible, and since then we have made quite a nice move. Came back and tested the trend line here, and we have a lower trend line below that as well. So which both have been undercut. In fact, this one, if we extend that, you can see that we came and tested that from the bottom. So it failed below the trend line and fell off again, and now we're coming back, and so this will be an important zone to see what happens at that trend line. Do we take it out and go through it, or we that's going to be resistance calling a wall, and then it's back to a downward move. So overall, the jury, even though we have a confirmed uptrend, which is obviously going to get called at a lower point, we still have an active downtrend channel. And when this first wave was coming in, I put this zone in as an area to watch, and we tested the top of the zone, we tested the bottom of the zone. Now here we undercut that zone. So if we get turned away here, that means the next piece of work would be to look at targets below that 4100 as to where the market could go. So those are things to watch out for. Now, if we look at the Nasdaq, so Nasdaq has a very similar picture. We're in a defined short-term downtrend, which is still in play in the intermediate. In the short term, we obviously have a little bit of a upswing going on. So again, if this low gets taken out or this high doesn't get taken out and gets defended later on, then we can start looking at downside targets here. But for now, we are in a short-term uh, swing to the to the upside. So let's have a look at the equal weight on the Nasdaq 100. So this is an equal weight as opposed to market cap. So this too is showing a downtrend channel. So that's in synchrony uh, with the basic broader Nasdaq. If we look at the equal weight on the S&P, so this one again we're seeing is in a current downtrend, but overall we can see that the S&P equal weight is actually a little bit weaker than its market cap weight index, right? So that means that kind of tells us that there are some stocks out there which are holding up the indexes, because we can see there's a lot of weakness here. So since we're here, we look at some of the big market cap weights. So Apple overall coming down through this also has a downtrend channel. Amazon was kind of headed down, but after its earnings report, it's now going to decide to move back up. So this one is a little bit better placed. If we look at Google, so kind of similar to Amazon, and not really uh, in sync with the downtrend channels. Look at Microsoft. Again, same as Microsoft. So we can see that these really big weight caps, with the exception of Apple, are kind of holding up a little bit. And finally, if we just look at Tesla for now, and Tesla is kind of sporting a bit of a downtrend as well. So a mixed bag of tricks there. So if we then look at let's look at the dollar. Okay, so we can see that the dollar's made quite the move up from July, and this, if you recollect, was the high in the S&P. And as the markets pulled back, the dollar's gotten stronger, and usually a strong dollar, it's that pressure on the equities. Okay, so let's look at the long-term bond, 30-year out. This one's been dropping pretty fast all year, with the rates doing what they're doing. It's had a short-term bounce of late, but it's at resistance. At some point, this will turn around and be a potential trade or a sustained entry. If we look at the 10-year bond, so the 10 years come off their peak, which is one of the reasons why the equity market actually bust up. But this one's now sitting near support zones. So we'll see what happens with that in the move in contra. We look at gold. So gold has started to have a little bit of an upswing here. Overall, gold is still positive, to the upside in terms of its trend. It did have a little bit of a sustained short-term downtrend here, but it's taken out the swing highs now. So looks like gold is gonna make a move to the upside. Take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's been moving up since the beginning of the year, albeit with some meaningful whipsaws. But the overall trend is up. We look at oil, which is starting to move up in light of conflicts that we're seeing. Let's have a look at semis. So semis are showing a little bit of a downtrend and some weakness there. And if we look at the bios, so the semis and the bios, we see the kind of the cornerstone of growth action, and we can see that these have been in a long-term downtrend. We've had a good reversal in the last 3 or 4 days, so hopefully that sticks. But we've got to overcome resistance at the 50. Let's continue by taking a look at the VIX. So the VIX is at 14.91, way below the 20 zone. So it's just like no fear and just a low volatile environment, which kind of bodes well for equities. Okay, and then let's just take a quick run through the sectors. Basics are basic material, they're down. Communication services, kind of flat to down. Trend more of a consolidation there. Get the financials. Technology. Clear down pattern, although it's at a point of testing this recent high. Okay. Consumer staples. So this one, which you would thought in the downtrend would have been defensive, but it actually also went down. This is mostly REITs, so not can't take too much from this, but indicating a downward trend. And then consumer discretionary, which is a growth area, usually also showing weakness. Healthcare also down, which is in sync with the biotechs putting down. Utilities, which is another defensive sector by for the most part. Again, overall downtrend. So the defensives are the downtrend, growths are in downtrend. So overall, the picture, the big, putting all this together, it tells us that a lot of stocks are and sectors and industry groupings are showing weakness and downtrend. A few of the real big market caps are where the action is, and some of them, most of those are holding up, not all of them, but most of them. And that's probably what's keeping the indexes up. So let's finish up with one more chart, which is the small caps. And this typically is the growth engine of the economy. And we can see that these have done nothing. So we're sitting here right now, way off the highs, closer to the lows than there. But so we went back to mid middle of 22. We are where we were in the middle of 22. So if you were a buy and hold investor, as you have had um, a good couple of years where nothing really happened, right? You kind of flat, being up, and you've been up, even down. And the trend here, kind of a channel actually. So the lows have been around 162, and the upper channel's been around 200. We're in the lower part of that right now, with the current trend indicating downside activity. So um, until these start to lead as well, then we're kind of in a period where it's going to be tough in shorter time frames, maybe where you need to look for in terms of making your equity curve move up. Okay, so I'll leave it here for now. Yeah, so that's a lot of charts for you to review, a lot of information to look at, and then I will do a drill down on the Nasdaq in terms of last month or so and the last week's action as a separate video, because otherwise this will be a very long video. Okay, so goodbye for now, and I will see you in the next video tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.